What is going on, everybody? We are back on it. Ooh, I've been waiting for this this post-episode discussion. My Hero Academia season 4, episode 12, coming off of looks very controversial. Um, I would say the best episode of season 4 that we have had, but in the same on the same stance in the same coin, however you want to phrase it. I feel like that's not saying much because, in my opinion, the season has been good, but there haven't been just like bangers of episodes. Um, oh shit. Um, I had my initial reactions, like you guys saw it when we finished the episode. It was amazing. It was the best episode of the season, which I still agree on. But taking a step back, and it was one of my most highly viewed videos that we've had in a while. Um, a lot of people are pissed off on this episode. I had a couple people let me know on YouTube, and then people told me on Twitter as well to go take a peek at the My Hero Academia Reddit page. If you guys are familiar with Reddit, and kind of, I don't want to go into that. I took a peek, and a lot of people are upset with the episode. And after kind of diving in and seeing what they had to say, and going back and watching the episode, I'm kind of like upset and felt like we were cheated as well. Um, I think we can all agree the animation this season has been lackluster. It just hasn't been there. I think we can all agree with that. Now, are they planning to save it for some? Are they saving their best animators in the anime budget for like a big Deku versus overhaul? Maybe. But for My Hero Academia standards, um, the animation has been really lackluster. It kind of fell flat this season, which I felt like we got last episode. And then just one of the biggest complaints all around that I was seeing on Twitter, on YouTube, on the My Hero Academia Reddit and subreddit pages, um, just the fight with Mirio and the non showcasing of his abilities was just a huge disappointment and a huge letdown. Um, a lot of manga readers were very upset that like we got very to little fighting, and I said it as well. The only kind of fighting we got was like static images. It was like we were looking through it like kind of how Night Eye looks through like images or his like film. They're just static images. And when you have an ability like this, whether it's in Naruto, um, even with Nove and Hunter x Hunter and his like kind of portalish in and out, and with this permeation, you need and you can really like showcase some sick and clean and crispy hand-to-hand combat animation because you have to watch it so closely, like to see what he slipped through, what he solidified for. Did he just do that? I can't believe he went through and did that. And I felt like the only scene that like we really got that was like, oh man, did you see that? Was when he kicked through Eerie, phased through her head and solidified and kicked the guy. Like we got one good shot of that. And besides that, everything else was just static frames. Like they'd show us an image, it was a still frame. Then they moved to another still frame and a still frame. And we didn't get to see, like, think back. I mean, the easiest example is Obito and Naruto, whether you like Naruto, dislike Obito, whatever you have. But, like, thinking back of, like, pretty much the same, not the same abilities, but they do the same things. Um, Thinking back to when how many scenes did we get of Obito fighting 10, 20 people at a time, just slipping through things, solidifying through things, slipping through, solidifying, and you just like, you're like, that's amazing. And I wanted that here, especially with Mirio, how Mirio had been built up and the status of him, the number one hero or next in line to be the number one hero, one of the best out there. And then against Overhaul, this villain that's been building up since last season, looking back on it, I felt like they really missed a big opportunity, and a lot of people were upset with that. And in the moment, since Mirio is my favorite character, I enjoyed the episode for what it is. But going back and watching it and kind of seeing people's kind of comments on it, um, I agree that I felt like we got cheated with kind of getting to see Mirio on full display. And somebody left like a perfect comment that kind of summed up how I felt. They said, I hated it in the manga and I hated it here. Deku didn't need to face off against Overhaul. and Mirio didn't need to lose his quirk immediately after being introduced as Deku's superior, and that's my biggest gripe. I hate when, like, a character has been hyped up and he's stronger than the main character, much stronger than the main character, and they use him as pretty much fodder or a punching bag, or they use him as a leaping off point for the main character. I hate that so much, and that's usual classic anime. You have like you get introduced to a really strong character, and he's clearly superior to the main character. And the biggest antagonist, the biggest villain at the moment, will face off against said newest, strongest character. And they always shit on that character, and they use that as like a motivating factor for the main character who then like ascends. Um, I hate that as well. It's a lazy way of removing an obstacle for Deku without proving himself. I agree, because now there's like nothing in Deku's way to kind of like ascend to the top. And I feel like we need that, because like Bakugo, I don't even take that man serious anymore because of what little they've shown of him this season. It was like those two neck and neck. We're gonna fight to be number one. I'm gonna be the next All Might. No, you're gonna be the next All Might. Like they had their like come together moment at the end of last season. What have we gotten? 2 minutes max of Bakugo this season. So like the obstacle, the friendly obstacle, the motivation is Mirio, and now Mirio has been removed off the page. But I guess I prefer that just flat out making Mirio secretly a shitty person on the inside to justify Deku getting. Yeah, it'd be better. And what makes it worse is. What would have made it worse is if they gave Mirio like Bakugo's personality but made him shittier, is the reason that he didn't get One for All's quirk. There wasn't a flaw with Mirio at all, and they just kind of like removed him to the side. This whole arc is divisive among manga readers. Some consider it the best, which I don't, and others, like myself, feel like it's the worst. Mirio is my favorite character, and if I'm going to be honest, I'm disappointed with this episode. It was mostly slideshows, and a lot of Mirio's finesse got lost, which was my biggest. When you have something like this, you want to see him phasing in fluidity, and I felt like it got lost. In the manga, he shoulder checked the gun out of the guy's hand before uppercutting him into the air in one swift motion. That, along with all the phasing through people he does to hit them, gives you a true sense of his hand-to-hand capabilities. And unfortunately, the anime skimped on the animation, like they've been doing all season. I hated the manga content, and the anime showed pretty much exactly the same. And then he goes on to say this was an episode a lot of people were waiting for, but it looks like the animation budget is going to go towards Deku, and the My Hero Academia subreddit is completely in shambles right now, which I went and took a peek, and they are losing their minds. A lot of people weren't happy with it. I'm happy with it because it's my favorite character and he got an episode. I'm unhappy with it because I felt like they skimped that man, Mirio, showing his ability and the finesse and just the hand-to-hand taijutsu that we really could have gotten. I felt like it fell short. And I feel like it's the perfect time. What a coincidence that Deku's going to show up and probably be the one to suppress Overhaul, push him back so that they can kind of rescue Mirio. Now, I don't know what direction I want this to go as far as you guys might know, and manga readers, do we want Mirio to get his quirk back? Because another complaint with My Hero Academia, and I've been saying for a while, and I feel like we've just been shitting on My Hero Academia, is like, it's a good show, you know? It's just been held to high standards, and I feel like this season was a big tipping point for My Hero Academia. Is it going to vault into that like Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball realm, or is it going to stay just as like a good anime? So like I've had high standards for this season. So like as far as like character deaths, making things feel real, not always having the heroes win. Because I've been disappointed. Like the fodder villains are very, very fodder. Especially just for kids. Do we as anime only watchers, so you guys are in the same boat as me, I'm guessing Mirio won't be the only one to lose his quirk. Others probably will as well. when this is all over, because they're going to defeat Overhaul. And he said, I think we got shown that he has a serum or a way to, I guess, correct the mistake. If he accidentally shoots one of his guys, or maybe he gets hit with it, he has the antidote. Do we want Mirio and others to get their quirks back? Or is it going to feel cheated if that's kind of all that happens? I'm just thinking of big, like, we start getting into that, like, Dragon Ball, where, like, it doesn't matter if they die, we can just wish them back. You get into that Naruto versus Pain, where, oh, what was the point of killing, spoilers, killing Kakashi and everybody else? They're all just going to get brought back anyway. With this, me as Mirio being my favorite character, and I want him to be better than Deku. He is better than Deku, and I want him to be something that Deku has to chase. I don't want him just removed from the story. I want that to be a light that Deku has to follow. So in that instance, I would love for him to get his quirk back and kind of do the things. But it's going to be hard to take the stakes seriously if at the end of this, Overhaul gets defeated, they mass produce serums and antidotes, and everybody gets their quirks back, and it's all just kind of back to normal. I don't know how I feel about that. If you're an anime-only watcher, and then if you know in the manga, but when you were reading in the manga, what did you want to happen? It's like, it's your favorite character, you want him to get his abilities back. But it's like, what was the point if everybody just gets their abilities back? So, I don't know. We'll just kind of leave it there. We'll see what this episode has to offer. But I feel like, even though I guess we shitted on last episode and kind of the anime as a whole there for a little bit, I feel like those are constructive comments that we made. I feel like those are comments that we can go back and forth on. And I don't feel like we were just like shitting on it and saying negative things. I think Overhaul as a character, as far as his ability go, is I'm still trying to wrap my head around what he can and can't do, and seeing what he can do with like terrain and destroying it and putting it back together. And I think it's an amazing ability. Same with like Mirio and seeing all this kind of stuff. But I feel like the animation could be better in the way they've put kids on the front line, and Mirio kind of got cheated, and where are the stakes, and the villains are never strong, and so like, I feel like they're constructive things, so I don't want it to seem like we're disliking the show or like not going to watch it or anything like that. And I was told that we didn't see it here, but Mirio fought for damn near 5 minutes or more quirkless. Like, he was just there throwing hands without a quirk, just off of his combat ability for 5 minutes. And we saw a little bit of it. I mean, we saw maybe 15 seconds of it. But again, like, just that. Like, show us Mirio. Like, show us the full... And we saw him, but I feel like we didn't see him, if that makes sense, I feel like we saw what he can be, but we didn't see what he is. So, we'll see. And a lot of people, I also saw, like, maybe he should have let her get hit with the bullet, because if it was a real bullet and she would have died, Overhaul would have probably brought her back or destroyed her. I wonder, like, that's another thing. If someone's on the verge of death, say Eri gets shot in the chest or she's bleeding out, could Overhaul destroy her, virtually saving her, and put her right back together and she be fine? Because I was wondering that as well. But Mirio being the one he is, and then other people were saying, like, oh, I can't believe, like, he wouldn't just let that bullet phase through. He should have known better. And then other people were saying, of course he has to take that bullet. But he didn't know what was going to be in it. People were saying he thought he was just taking a regular bullet. But my flip argument to that is, we just had a huge meeting where one of his best friends just got hit with one of those quirk neutralizing bullets. So I don't think he went in there thinking this is a regular bullet, I can take it and keep fighting. I think someone on his level and his smarts and expertise should have known there could have been anything in that bullet. This could be what Tamaki got hit with. This could be a regular bullet. I have no idea. All I know is I need to protect her regardless. That's what I think he went in there with. Other people were saying he should have let it phase through him, or he didn't know what it could have been. Would it have neutralized her quirk? And then I also wonder, if somebody's quirkless, or say Eerie gets hit by one of them, or could he destroy them, and when he puts them back together, do they go back to having their quirk? I'm not sure. But we'll kind of see. We've been talking for 15 minutes. If you stayed and listened to all that, um, we'll go ahead and do it. I just needed to get all that out of there. So we're 2 minutes and 5 seconds in. We've skipped through the intro. The intro is just about to end. 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Pressing play right now. Oh shit, my episode just froze. All right, let's skip through all this. I'm going to skip through all this here. It looks like we're having issues. All right, now we're back at 2:05. We're at 2:06. Pressing play right now. Here we go. Yeah, that man's going to be TKO'd for a while. He's still screaming. Deku's supposed to be out. Okay, so what do you follow up with? Well, looks like we didn't pay attention to that warning. Aizawa, you said if they were involved, he's out. Well, oh man, Mirio. Well, okay, so much for that. I guess if the league's involved, fluff it. We're still going. I'm not gonna. Alright, kids, do it. I wonder, has Night Eye used his quirk on Mirio? Did he know that Mirio was going to end up, or? Whisper, whisper. Alright, I don't know what their plan is, but I'm sure we'll find out. Alright, and now we're caught up. Here we go. And that was another question. So what is actually happening to Overhaul, Unforeseen Hope? Like, why does his skin bubble and rash as he kind of uses his quirk? You know, that hurt. He said he erased it. Is this what he's seen in a vision? It looks like he's seen that before, because he kind of pieced all the puzzle pieces together. He was like 3 inner circle members, walls, Overhaul. It's almost like he's seen it before. He can't do up. So he has the ability to slow people's movements if he touches them. But I repaired his head to heal the damage. Wow, so he can. He said he repaired his head. Oh, he can't blink in time to erase his quirk. Damn. So dude's head was busted, and he touched him and healed his head. So maybe he can if Eerie was to get shot. He could heal her, destroy her, and heal her. Yeah, see, like the animation and everything we're getting is so much better here. What the hell just happened? What? He can break or restore anything living or non-living. He can see what his target will do for 1 hour. What did he just morph into, and how? Oh, shit. Oh, hell. He's going to be slowed for 1 hour. Quirk chronostasis. He attacks by extending hair with strands like clockwork. Those he attacks have their movement slowed. And he wrapped up his eyes, too, so he can't look at anybody. Dope. The Saikai boss's granddaughter. What just happened to him? How did we get here? He destroyed himself and his underling. Oh, and put them back together. Oh, hell. I was trying to figure out how they morphed. Is it what? Jeez. But how did he know what was going to become of the fusion? And now he's fully healed. Yeah, that's right. When someone touches me, it makes my blood boil. Is that why he breaks out? So he can destroy himself and still be conscious enough to put him back together? Everyone's finding out about his quirks gone forever. And like, could he destroy himself again and then just go back to being his regular self? That's wild. We gotta talk about this, whatever this is. Power and speed, that's all you've got. True. Okay, Knight, I get in there. I'm interested in heroes who can erase quirk. We gotta talk about this Mighty Morphin Power Ranger over here. Yeah, that's what he means. Look at my man looking like Neo right now. I forgot the stipulations of his quirk again. He just has to make eye contact and touch them, and then it's good to go. He got him. He did touch him. Or maybe it's just eye contact. Either way, he got what he needs. So he should be able to not get hit. Hopefully. Dang. He's so like All Might. God, I want Mirio to be great. The future I see cannot be changed. I've tested it many times. Even if I act completely differently from the future I saw, it ends up returning to what I saw. Dang, so it doesn't matter what he does, it's always going to end up that way. Dang, he even tries to change it and it still ends up the same way. Hmm. Doesn't matter what he does, it always ends up the same. So All Might is going to die, which we knew. All might as well be dead, but All Might the hero, at least, will no longer use my foresight on anyone's future. Anyone's future meaning that he's close with, or because we've clearly seen him use it on. By repeating my 1 second foresight, we can reach the best conclusion. He has different grades of it? Hmm. Deku, you need to move, bro. Get him going. Maybe this has all happened in the same moment. I'm about to say, you better grab and go. Kidding. She doesn't want them to. Yeah. That's what he told her. Yeah. Oh, shit. He's dead? Don't run in there. I don't think we're healing that. You can't see it anymore. You did not run back in there. Night Eye is dead. 100%. %. We haven't seen this man really kind of use One for All in a while. We've only been seeing mainly been doing kicks and stuff, but so I want to see him kind of like, you know, let's throw some hands here. Yeah, the animation definitely went to this. There's no way it's that easy, right? Manchester. Whoa, okay. I didn't think he was going to close that gap before he destroyed the ground and brought it back up. Dang. Deku doesn't have that hand to hand like those two. That's where we saw Night Eye's vision cut off. We know Deku's not dead. Let's get that out the way. But I don't think there's anything standing in between Overhaul just walking up on them. We don't have anybody to come help either, do we? My man really can't do it. It's as far as Overhaul saw. Don't listen. I mean, she's gonna listen to it, but time for a reset. That's so fucked. She went back in there. I would be so interested to see Overhaul versus All Might. I always want to see the tactics of like how somebody else would play it, or Endeavor. Like I think All Might would have enough power to attack from distance that he would never be close enough to Overhaul to even get touched or be threatened by it, I would think. If he just kept smashing from deep, you can't save Eerie anymore. I saw the future where you and I are killed and he gets away. Well, we know he's not going to die. But he said his futures are never wrong. So something's going to happen here. And I'm guessing it's going to be his future is not going to be as is anymore because the main character is not going to die. Who is this? Is this help or is this... Oh shit. Okay. Let me scroll to the end of it. It looks like the ones I was thinking like there's gonna have to be backup here. Looks like Uraraka, Sue, Dragon Lady, and the big dude they were fighting fell all the way to the bottom. How the hell did that happen? I'm looking for a post-credit scene here. Hold on. Post-credit, post-credit. Anybody get a post-credit? Post-credit, 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 post-credit. Nope. Okay, we don't do previews. I want to go back to the shot here where this dude just morphed into I don't know what, but it was wild. And who even knows what the hell they got going on with him? That you were stronger than me. God, that's so dope. The fact that he said that and he still didn't come out on top sucks. That's like definitely the shot right there. So I don't know if it was Night Eye that said it or it was let me take this off so we're not chopping off half my face. I don't know if it was Night Eye that said it or Overhaul that said it, but that he destroyed his comrade, whatever you want to call him, and he destroyed himself and then put them back together and we got whatever this is. How did that exactly work? Like, how does he destroy himself and still be alive / conscious to put himself back together before it's too late? That's kind of my biggest kind of like how, WTF moment of the entire episode. Was this kind of Mighty Morphin Gundam style Transformer mutation that we got, that he was able to destroy himself and his subordinate. Because I could see that if he did that with like 2 of his other subordinates, not including him, he destroyed the 2 of them and then slapped them, morphed them back together. But the fact he was able to destroy himself, and put it back together and still be alive and able to do so is maybe, I mean, that's what I'm saying. His quirk has been a mystery to me as far as like the limits and like what it can do since we got introduced to it. So we had that, and what looks to be Night Eye's death, which might be the first major death that we've had. I mean, we've only known Night Eye for a handful of episodes, so it's unfortunate that he died, but it didn't hit too hard. Had it been Aizawa or something like that, that would have been another story. Eri said she wanted him to put everybody back together. So does Overhaul put everybody back together and then takes Eri and dips out, so Night Eye isn't dead. And I'm like, I think about this all the time. Whenever I see Deku fight, I always wonder how All Might would do it. Of course, All Might being leagues and bounds above what Deku currently is and maybe ever will be. Maybe Deku, we don't know if Deku will ever be All Might. But just thinking, how would if All Might was trapped in these tight quarters with Overhaul, how would he play this? I would think that Overhaul just wouldn't be able to withstand the blast. We've seen back in the final exams where Bakugo and Deku fought All Might, we saw him punch from hundreds of yards away, and just the reverberation wind and effect that it had. if he was to just punch the air towards Overhaul's direction, yes, granted, Overhaul could destroy the ground and like kind of absorb some of the shockwave. But like All Might could just sit there and spam that over and over, and how fast and how quick and powerful would Overhaul even be able to put up a wall or a shield and not just completely be eaten? That's how I think All Might would play it. And just the speed gap he would be able to close after being able to like punch a wave of air, it blow up everything Overhaul puts up, and then him close that gap. Like I think he would just, I think it would be, it wouldn't be anything. Let's be honest. I don't think All Might would have a problem with Overhaul, but I'm always curious on how he would deal, with certain villains in the same situations. It's just interesting to see. So coming out of this episode, we have Aizawa, who seems to be captured by a guy that has a kind of paralyzing chronostasis quirk. If he touches you with his hair, I don't know if he has to penetrate skin or like make contact with your blood. But he can slow the movements down. So Aizawa's movements were so slowed that he couldn't like keep Overhaul's quirk erased. And then the other guy made the comment that, I don't know if he said he stuck him with like the long blade or the short blade or whatever the blades have to do with anything. So Aizawa was going to be moving at a snail's pace for, I think he said, at least an hour or a couple hours. That's a pretty interesting quirk. What they plan to do, they said that, and it was cool to see because they knew of another erasing type quirk, and that was Aizawa's, and that they referenced him during their research and their experiments all the time. That Overhaul has a very fond interest of quirks that are able to erase and do things like that. So what they plan to do with him, I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to die either, but they have his eyes bandaged up and everything. I mean, they got that on lock. It was cool to see Overhaul's quirk get erased, and I wanted to see maybe Deku or Night Eye get a couple hits in, just to see how he would react without having his quirk, but it didn't last very long. So we got Aizawa captured, Night Eye, which right now we could presume that that man is dead. He is dead. I mean, I've seen Best Genius get a cylinder put through his stomach, but he was okay. But Night Eye was still talking. We were getting Night Eye thoughts while he was on that. He said, well, first they introduced it to us that his futures are never wrong. No matter if he's even seen the future, just like a simple example, he saw me walking up the stairs, I take a right, I slip, fall, crack my neck. That happens. So even if he tells me, hey, when I go up these stairs, don't go up the stairs or take a left instead of a right, he says no matter if he tries to avoid it or change it, the result of the future is still the same. So it doesn't matter if I avoid the stairs, if I take a left, if I hop on one foot, if I go up on my hands, if I go up and have somebody else take the right and I go left, like the end result at some point is always going to be the same. So with that, he said he saw himself and Deku die right there and Overhaul and Eri escape and get away. So if that's the case, two things have to happen. The future holds like it always does, like he said, or for the first time in his history, the future has to be rewritten or changed or undone. So how does that happen? I'm not sure, but I'm sure we're going to find out because Deku's not going to die here. I could die. I don't know how I would feel if Overhaul just like slapped Night Eye back together, took Eri, and left. Because I think that was the comment she made, correct? Let me go back. I'm going to have to dim this back out because YouTube will strike this down if I let this play. I want to kind of see the exact line that she said here. Where was it? Keep going, keep going. Then she said no. And what should you do? Eri, still talking. Put everyone back together the way they were. It's easier to be hurt yourself than have others get hurt for you. That's probably the best shot of the episode right here. That's probably the best shot of the episode right there. 100%. So I guess we'll kind of leave it at that. This looks like it's going to be the way that kind of the two sides resolve. As far as like escaping and like calling it a day. Them crashing down, I think, will cause enough kind of commotion, and it'll give Deku and maybe the others a chance to escape, and Overhaul kind of grabs Eerie and GTFOs. Because what the hell is this big bitch gonna do and Sue and Uraraka? Other than like create a wrinkle that Overhaul wasn't expecting, but I'm sure he'll be able to get out of it, threaten them with Eerie, what have you. So we still have Mirio quirkless. Aizawa is captured. Night Eye is dead for now, and Deku is severely injured. And the entire like kind of A-Team Avengers Assemble squad that they ran in there with is done. Rocklock is stabbed, and you could say he's in critical condition. Tamaki, Fat Gum, Kirishima, they're out for the count. Mirio is not only quirkless, but my man is in need of a nap and a Gatorade. Night Eye is dead, and Deku is injured. So that whole A-Team they ran in with is damn near on its last leg. They only have one person still standing, and Aizawa's captured. So we had the two girls fall in. I don't know if they'll just kind of be enough to kind of collect everybody and save them from being killed, and Overhaul dips out. But we'll kind of see how that plays out, and let me know what you guys thought of the episode. I thought the animation was kind of ramped up. Some of the still shots were kind of shitty. There was one shot of Overhaul that was really bad. I think it was, yeah, this right here. When him standing, if I can find it, when Deku came, like, jumping off the roof or something like that. He had a really just bad shot. But I can't really find where it was. Let me see if I can find it here. Like, they didn't even try. And then seeing him go through this really hit the strings. Seeing him just, like, really trying to get through that was rough. That was rough. His voice actor, it almost sounded the same as Kacchan when he was crying and kind of going through his stuff. Is there similar? Do they share the same voice actor? It's hard for me to really tell. Whoa! I totally forgot I was even playing that. Let's just end it where it is. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find that shot I was looking for of Overhaul just kind of standing there when the animation like really took a hit. I can't find it, so I'm not even gonna try to go through it. Me skipping through this. If you guys don't see this episode, you know why. But we'll just leave it there. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Y'all have a good weekend. Oh, also Patreon members. We're completely done with Code Geass. If you're a Patreon member, I put up a post. I need anime, TV shows. I need suggestions. And then whatever the 4 suggestions you guys come up with, I'm going to take it to YouTube for the YouTube land and have a YouTube vote on what we're going to watch next. I'm going to be done with Hunter x Hunter here probably by February. I'm completely done with Code Geass, so the only thing we'll be reacting to is once a week My Hero Academia. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the votes, and the 2 top votes, one will be a Patreon exclusive, and the other will be for YouTube. So if you're on Patreon, check out my post, because some of you Patreon guys, you don't care to hop in the Discord. So I try to make sure I still connect with you guys. But I need suggestions. So far, we've gotten Demon Slayer, we've gotten Goblin Slayer, we've gotten Parasite, we've gotten Full Metal Brotherhood. So I need some suggestions from them. So I'm going to let the Patreon members, Patreon perk, you guys come up with the suggestions. I'll let YouTube vote. One will be a Patreon exclusive, the other will be on YouTube. So yeah, give me Mandalorian, whatever you guys want it to be. feel free to kind of leave those suggestions. Patreon members, and the Patreon link is in the description, and we'll go from there. So I'll catch you guys on Monday with what are we, Hunter x Hunter 129? And then what I think we're going to end up doing is next Friday I'll do a live stream, because I have to live stream 130 and 131. I'll either do that Wednesday night or we'll save it for like a Friday and something like that. But you guys enjoy your weekend. Let me know what you guys thought of the pre-episode discussion for last episode and what you thought of this, and we'll go from there. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,